Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I have my turtle mold out again. I got an order in. This one is for you, Donna Taylor. She emailed me wanting a turtle pretty close to the one that I did on my channel back about a month ago. So I do have to change it up a little bit. I am very sorry, Donna, but I ran out of the green that I used for the body. So this is very close. So I'm going to be using my intense mica powder. This one's from Into Resin. Make sure you check out their discount code because you will save 20% if you use my discount code with them. And then the flakes for the shell, I'm going to be using my new set that I just received from Let's Resin. So here's 3 of the colors, and here are the other 2. This one is just gorgeous, and this one. So what I did on the last one is I just kind of randomly placed the flakes on the shell, poured it with black, and then on the front side I decorated with a bunch of rhinestones showing all the pieces of the shell. I don't know what you would call that. I went around the rim. So she wants it very similar to that. So this one is for you. So if you did not see that video, this one's great for you. If you did, well, stick around. You might learn something new. I also have this guy out because I have another order I need to work on. You will probably be seeing that in the next couple of days. But I have to test something because I don't know if it's going to work, and there's no way I want to mess up somebody's order. So I'm going to be combining a couple of colors in this one and see if the colors kind of meld together. So she wants green and blue in alcohol inks with shimmer, but I have a feeling before I really do a large piece that they're gonna meld together. So it's worth it to stick around to see how that works, because I may have to try it again with a little bit more, I don't know, opaque colors. I'm gonna let the resin get pretty thick, so I'll probably be using my fast cure on this one, let it sit for a while before I do all the mixing or pouring on it. So anyway, I'm going to start with this green. So let's get this painted on. And I keep getting little stuff in here. I cleaned it. I swear I cleaned it before I turned you on. So I don't know where this comes from. It just must be floating around in my room. And what I'm gonna do is just peel him back. Well, I guess it's not. And I did the whole entire thing. So I do have cleanup to do because the shell goes down into the body. So this is easier to clean than the flakes are. So I'm definitely going to be starting with the powder first because that comes off so much easier than the flakes do where I don't want it at. So are you ready to go? I'm just going to brush it in. It's pretty simple. I mean, it sticks really well. If you're new to resin, powders stick really, really well to your silicone, and they go pretty far. These little intense colors, they go really, really far. So even though it looks like I don't have that much powder in here, because I don't, I'm almost out of all my greens from them, but I will have plenty enough to do this turtle. So I'll go ahead and I'll put you on a little fast forward, and I will meet ya as soon as I'm ready to do the flakes after this is all cleaned up. All right, all the green is on. I'm almost completely out of the green, so I'm glad I had enough. If you're gonna try this, the only issue I would say is every time you pull this, one of these parts are going to touch, so you're going to have a lot of cleanup to do, but try to get up underneath that when you're completely done and make sure it all has powder on it. So for this, I'm just going to alternate each of the flakes, and I'm just going to kind of drip them in here, rub them in, and where they go, they go. And that's really what I did on the other one. I just kind of took turns and I combined them all, and I didn't really want a pattern, but you do want to combine the line though down at the bottom where they come together, so make sure you're getting flakes over that line where the green comes together, or whatever color you're choosing. And I'm just gonna pretty much do that. I'm just gonna randomly put them in, and what we get, we get. I think it'll look kind of cool. The best color to back this in is black. So if you're doing any kind of chameleon and you want the full effect of the powder, you would use black. If you want a lighter, well, super intense powders, you're going to get that color no matter what color you back it in. But if you're just using regular powder, regular chameleon powders, it will change depending on your backing color. This one is my ultimate favorite. It's purple and green and blue. I could do the whole thing in this and it would be gorgeous. So I just, starting from the beginning, I see a spot here I didn't get, so I'm going to put it down there. And this turtle holds 12 ounces of resin. So make sure you have that available before you start. Let's see, the green we will do over here. And yeah, since I want to experiment with that little piece, I'm going to have to use 2 different resins. So this is going to be using the pre-made black. I think I have 12, I might not have 12 ounces left. I might have to check. I like to use that when I can, just because it's easier, but I don't think I have 12 ounces available at the moment. So I guess that works out fine for me, because then I don't have to mix 2 different resins. So I guess I will be using 4-hour fast cure if I don't. That way I don't have to wait so long for my little bear guy's colors to thicken up. You may have to check after you're pulling this open if you've misplaced it, although it's the back of the bowl. But if you are selling it, I highly recommend you check every portion and make sure it's done properly before you sell it. And then I will find some coordinating rhinestones to do this one. The powders in here, you can either tap them out or let them float to the back. Again, you won't really, you're not going to notice them on the front at all, but the back's not a big deal. So I'm just gonna look at all those that came out. I'm sure I didn't get all of them, but since I am selling this one, I'd like to get as many as I can. I'm just going around and making sure I've got all these spots covered. Otherwise you will see black through it and you may have to do some patchwork when it comes out. Now here I'm gonna go around this edge and try to touch up those parts that were moving on me while I was putting the flakes in. So I'm just gonna go around this edge one more time, trying not to touch it to the mold, although if it does, it shouldn't come off now because everything's covered where it wasn't before. Yeah, I see some bald spots in here, but again, that's the back of the tray. You're not really gonna see it. And I think I got it all. Let's see down here. It's so hard to tell, and you can't really open it up. All right, I think I got it. Let me get some resin mixed up and we're gonna start pouring. I've got 14 ounces of my Fast Cure 4-hour mixed up, which is more than I need, but I want to, again, make that little bear. So I'm just going to pour out 2 of the ounces for the green and the blue. And then we'll color this black and put it through the vacuum chamber so we don't have any bubbles forming on the back of the shell. So when they rise, they're going to hit this silicone and they're just going to stay there. The ones back here would be fine, but anything under the silicone, so that's why I like to put it through the vacuum chamber no matter what. I mean, usually no matter what, but depending on the project, sometimes it doesn't matter, and I just kind of call them as I see them. So this one, being in order, I want it to go through the vacuum chamber. It's just another 5 minutes. So I'm just going to get my black pigment out, and I did not have enough of my other black, so I'm just going to color it myself. And this is by Eye Candy Cocoyo Black. Everything I use, almost everything I use, if I can find links, is linked below. I mean, some of the little stuff I forget, and if you want something that you didn't see, just ask me. If I have it, I will find it for you and I will get it for you and leave it in your comment. But especially when I'm doing like a ton of extras, all the little pieces parts, I just don't have enough characters for my description box to put every single tiny piece. So I generally try to stick to the bigger stuff, and then if you need something that's not there, that's how you'll get it. Just ask me. I'm not hiding anything. All right. Let me pop this in the vacuum chamber and be right back. All right, now we're just gonna pour them in. I got most of the bubbles out, probably not all of them. So I'm just gonna pour around the edge till it gets down in the feet. Squish it around a little bit in the head, and then we'll finish pouring it up. Not quite enough in there. I can see it now through the silicone. Hopefully we get no bubbles in these parts. Whoops. Maybe I'll use my stick. Especially the tail. For some reason, tails and turtles don't like to come out. I haven't had a problem on this one, but you just never know. It's probably going to take the whole 12 and just let it catch up with itself before I over pour this. I got flakes all over this thing, so it's really hard for me to see if there's any kind of air bubbles. Hopefully there's not. just scrape this out. I think it'll hold it all. Looks pretty good. All right, that's all cleaned up and done. Now we can move on to this little guy. So this has been sitting here for a little while, and she also wanted my crushed crystal in here. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a little bit, like a little bit in each one. And then hopefully this has been getting thick, although it's not terribly deep to, you know, get thick very fast. So we'll just kind of eyeball it and see what's going on. So the whole point is to try to get transparent to see the sparkle, yet not have the blue and the green merge together in the piece. So if you want to see the piece, you'll have to come back another day when I work on it. But I don't want to work on it until I know what I'm doing here, because where this blue and green's going is going to be much larger and a lot more resin. So we're going to start with, I'm going to actually make it quite a bit darker than this, because I don't think you can go opaque with alcohol ink. But I definitely want color. And I might let it sit here for a little while longer before I pour it. I'll just grab my thermometer and see what temperature it's at. Kind of like a bloom, but not a bloom. All right, that should be good. Let me see how hot it is. Not hot enough. It's not even good for a bloom. I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit as long as I need to, and I'll come back when it's ready. These two have been sitting here for probably 20 or 30 minutes, and this one's at 31 and a half. 32. This one's at 31, 32, 33. It can't make up its mind. Maybe I need a new battery. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna just, I mean, how long can I let this sit? It seems really thick. So I'll just remember it was about 33 when I poured it. And what I want to do is kind of pour them together, but marbling at the same time. And I honestly already can tell the blue is merging right with that green. And I do not think this is gonna work. It's all gonna be, that's not good. I might have to try some, I have to try some mica powders, I'm thinking. I had a feeling that that's what was gonna happen. I mean, I understand the vision she has, but getting it to pass is another thing altogether. So, are they warmer now? No, they're only 32. Let me pop these bubbles. I could tell from the side it's not going to be green and blue. So I think Since I have another bare mold I could play around with, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up 2 more ounces and get some mica powder ready. Experiment number 2, I got a couple more ounces of the Fast Cure. I'm going to be using blue and spring green, Let's Resin, and GLYFX, whatever that means. And I'm just gonna dump crushed crystal in with these since she wanted shimmer and see if that works. I just don't see it working with that alcohol ink, and that's the first thing I thought of when she said that, so we shall try. And I'll put a nice hefty dose in each one of these, so hopefully we'll be able to see that. Oh, this one's not even open, so I have not tried this one yet. Spring green. I'm gonna put it in the cup first so it doesn't poof everywhere when I start mixing it. I think she was more concerned about having the sparkles show than worrying about the color. So let's just mix these up, and I'll probably wait a little while. Before I pour it. I see the sparkle in there. This might actually be the answer. This will be very pretty, I bet. All right, let me mix the green, see what that looks like. And let the temperature rise. It's gonna take a while. These tiny little cups, they take forever. I guess I could have left it in one big cup. Might have went twice as fast, but it's too late now. So I definitely see the sparkle in it. You may not being in the camera, but there is sparkle in there. Okay, now we're just gonna wait. Wait and see. All right, take 2. We're just about at 33 degrees, so I'm gonna start pouring it again and see what happens. Just kind of mixing it around. I know I have more than I need, but it's okay. Well, we'll see when it's done. It is time to unmold. Here's some extras. So I took the green and the blue and I just combined them together and made a pair of earrings. And then I took the green and made red, put some shimmer on top with UV resin. This is probably, I don't know, an ornament. I guess it could be a keychain. It's pretty big though. But that's one of them. And then I took the blue crushed crystal and made some red. So a red, white, and blue. I'm getting white from the shimmer. Little paw print. So those are the extras. Let's see this one. Let's see, we'll do, this one is the alcohol ink one, the original plan. Let's see what it looks like. I don't think it's gonna be what we're looking for. Let's see, I'm sure it'll be sparkly, but I don't think it's gonna be marbly. No, all I see is green. All I see is green. Just a little stripe of greenish blue right here. So that's unfortunate. All right, I knew that was gonna happen. So for this one, please let it be green and blue and sparkly. Just let it be everything we need it to be. I've been giving all my little friends away on eBay orders too. So if you've been seeing those in your orders, I just don't have room for all of these guys. Oh, now that is much better. That is way, 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 way better. You can see the sparkle. It's green and blue. I think I heated it to 33 degrees. You can even go a little hotter. So great. I think we have the answer to the next order. Okay, I'm gonna set those aside and try to get this out. Hopefully there's no fixing anything on this guy. And we could just start to bling him out. She wanted rhinestones galore. So far so good, no bubbles. And no bubbles there. Backside isn't perfect, but it's not bad. It's really hard to get it perfect when you can't reach in there. Get his head out. And it's not like hot or anything, so it's not gonna bend. All right, so the back, it has a little bit of scuff marks, but I can't help that really. Doesn't even need trimming. It's really good. Maybe one little spot here, which came right off. So that was easy. Ready? That is pretty. Oh, I like this one better than the first one. The colors are way better for a turtle. Look at the color changing. Oh, it is so pretty. Okay, so let me find some rhinestones to go with these, and I'm going to go in all of these lines on the turtle shell. And I think I also went around that edge, even though this edge doesn't really need it that bad, but I think I went around the edge last time just to cover the line, but I did a really good job. I'm proud of myself. There really is no line to cover, but we're gonna do it anyway. Look at that, so pretty. I love this mold. I need to come up with another plan for the mold. Now that I've done this one twice, it's time to come up with something else. All right, give me a few minutes. Let me get some rhinestones on. It is finally done. That took forever. I used multicolored rhinestones. Don't ask what size. I have no clue. I use rhinestones. So many rhinestones have been given to me, so I don't know what size they are. But these ones are pretty small. And there's a lot of them. So that is the tray. What do you guys think? Donna, I hope you're happy with it. I did put some eyes on him. If you don't want the eyes, just take some alcohol and take them off. And you don't have to have the eyes. So that is those. And then I finished these two little bears. I put a couple little rhinestones in the ears, a couple on the little heart pocket. You can't barely see the face on this one, but they are colored in. A couple crowns, a couple back bows because they always are dressed up around here. And those are the extras, you guys. Stick around, I will get you some pictures. I hope you liked it, even though I just did one a few weeks back. But I love these new colors in here. I will link everything below for you if you want to give it a try. I will see you guys all tomorrow. You guys all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.